As we've been reporting, some of President-elect Donald Trump's picks to fill his cabinet are drawing controversy. Matt Gaetz, Trump's planned attorney general nominee, and Pete Hegseth, who he plans to appoint as defense secretary, are embroiled in sexual misconduct allegations. Both men have denied any wrongdoing, but the allegations have both Democratic and Republican lawmakers questioning whether Trump's anticipated nominees will pass the confirmation process. Senate Judiciary Chair Senator Dick Durbin had some scathing words for Gaetz as Attorney General on the Senate floor Monday.
The clearest illustration of Trump's resolve to remake the Justice Department into his personal political law firm is his intent to nominate former Congressman Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General. Let me be clear. Former Congressman Gaetz is the least qualified person and the most radical person ever to be nominated to be Attorney General.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killion joins me now. Nicole, you have some new reporting that the House Ethics Committee will meet this Wednesday. What can we expect?
Well, there is a lot of speculation around this particular meeting because we do know that the panel was due to meet last week, but ultimately canceled that session after Congressman Gaetz resigned and after he was named as the Attorney General pick by the president-elect. But there is some speculation about whether or not the committee may vote potentially on releasing this report. Right now, many of the members of the Ethics Committee aren't saying, although some of them have acknowledged to reporters this evening that they have had a chance to review this report, and some of them do believe that it should be released publicly. But either way, it is a significant development because for the most part, this investigation has all been scuttled in light of Gaetz's resignation. You know, the committee can't pursue further investigation at this point, so they do need to make a decision whether or not to make what information they've gleaned thus far public.
And Trump's choice for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is also facing sexual assault allegations, with Hegseth denies. With the growing scrutiny of some of the incoming president's planned nominees, has anything shifted in terms of Senate Republicans' willingness to allow recess appointments?
Well, I think in terms of talking to various senators, they are across the map. I mean, I think the general sentiment, and particularly here in the Senate, most lawmakers, whether they're Democrat or Republican or institutionalist, they want to preserve the institution and respect the institution. So from that standpoint, there seems to be a general consensus that the traditional confirmation process is ideal. But you have had some lawmakers say, well, you know, maybe it's worth considering these recess appointments as a last resort. So this is something that is still under a lot of debate and consideration here in the Senate, but would mark a significant shift because for many years now, while previous presidents have used recess appointments to get their nominees through, for the most part, that particular policy, if you will, has kind of been on hold for the past couple of years. So this would be a change in precedent if the Senate were to change course.
Nicole, switching gears from Capitol Hill, the Georgia Court of Appeals canceled an upcoming hearing in Trump's election interference case. This hearing was supposed to be about whether District Attorney Fani Willis could stay on the case. I know you've been covering this case for some time. What more do we know?
Well, this also is a significant development in the sense that, you know, this is one of the few cases that could potentially move forward if the president-elect advances to the White House, which we expect that he will. But I mean, this is an investigation because it was a state case that doesn't necessarily have any impact. For instance, we know the Department of Justice appears to be wrapping up its federal investigations into the president-elect. But in a state case like this one here in Georgia, that is not necessarily the case. But prior to the president-elect getting elected, we do know that obviously there was a lot of controversy with respect to this particular case in Georgia, given the district attorney's involvement with a special prosecutor who has since resigned. So this appeals court hearing was supposed to be about whether or not she could stay on the case. Now that that has been canceled, that effectively puts this case on hold.
Nicole Killion on Capitol Hill, thank you.